actually, I would say even the combat is more like Divinity than it is Original Sin than it is PoE. Because it is like you have to move around to a position and then you have to do your thing. Like it's positioning based, and it has like a number of action points, like in Divinity. No, you don't. You have a starter background, like a role, if you will. I chose to be one of the blues, which is like a technician. So I'm like my job is like a repairman. But when you start the game, you get to choose between that. You can be an orange, which are ex-convicts. Yeah, or repairwoman. Yeah, exactly. The ex-convicts, they are mostly janitors, and like they basically do what the other orders them to do. But they're mostly like hardened criminals and stuff. You can play as a white, which is a scientist, like a can be like a mathematician or it can be like an actual scientist, like a medicine would be somebody that studies medicine would be that too. You can be a silver, which is kind of like the bureaucrats of the place, the managers and that kind of stuff, and you can be a black. The blacks are basically like security / army personnel. So yeah. So you pick one of those, and that will influence like your starting rep with like your faction. So like I have a little more rep with. I start with more rep with them than all the other ones. And it changes like dialogue options, where you can or can't go, what you can or cannot do, that kind of stuff. But then once you actually create your character, you pick your stats. So that's where you make your own class. You pick your stats, you pick whatever you want, and then you go in skills and abilities, and you can pick up whatever skill you want and put points in them, kind of like in Fallout. And that will influence like a shit ton, like basically anything you want to do in the game, including combat and stuff. And later on, like as you progress through the game and level up and stuff, you get perks. So I got one perk so far. Like this entire thing is one giant perk because I read a book, kind of like in Fallout again. Like if you read like a skill book, that's what I did. I read a skill book, so that increased some of my stats, some of my skills. So every time you level up, you get a whole bunch of skill points you can spend, so you can increase those. And the number here is basically, the more you increase this, the more of these will become green. And then to unlock it, once they're green, you have to click on it, and then it asks you if you want to spend a skill point on it, and that will lower the number you have here. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's a good example. Yep. And obviously, like in Fallout, you have your encumbrance, so you cannot carry infinite amount of stuff. Like eventually, you have to sell things. You have radiation, but also you do have a bunch of other stuff that you don't necessarily have in the typical Fallout game or even Divinity, the kind of stuff. You do need to eat and drink. And yeah, you do have like, these are all like my combat stats, my resistance, and these are all based off of these, and my actual stats at the beginning. The reason why like this one is in red is because I have a malice right now because I'm tired because I had sex earlier. Very dangerous. Oh god. The game starts with one battle, a fist fight. I almost died. Like I had like 2 HP left. Because I kept missing. So probably it could have, probably that situation could have been handled differently. I didn't have anything for like dialogues. Like I didn't pick high charisma or high dialogues and stuff. So I ended up having it into a fight. No, I wouldn't say that. No, actually, no. It is just like very challenging because it's based on your positioning. It's based on the stats that you've picked. And then like I said, there's just this alone matters a lot. So like, depending on which resistance you have against what and stuff, and also your HP don't regen. They regen over time, but like what I mean by over time is like over time, not like like if I wait 5 minutes I'll be fine. Like I mean over time, like your character regens, like it's here actually somewhere. Regeneration, 21 HP. The basic amount of health that the body recovers in 24 hours. I will regain 21 HP on my own over 24 hours of in-game. That's a long while. So you can stay stuck low health for a long time. So you're trying to avoid fighting, trying to like kind of figure out like what you want to do and or try and find health packs and stuff like that. For myself, I went melee heavy, but I could technically decide to go either way. I could go like high-tech weapons. And you can loot like almost everything, which is I already looted that one. Yeah. Oh. Aha. And so because I'm a blue, I get access to I can actually go into, well, not these, but like most air vents, I can go into it. Because I'm a blue. So like that allowed me to bypass like some locked doors that I couldn't open otherwise, or probably I could have entered those doors if I would have been in black, for example, because I'm security. I could have probably have like an higher clearance, but since I don't have it, I can bypass that stuff by going like into vents and stuff and going around. It's pretty fun. Like the amount of variety of things you can do is pretty amazing. Although, keep in mind that if you want to check out this game, it's a little bit on the expensive side. I got this game for free from the devs, but it's a good chunk of money for a game that's in early access, and it's apparently very early access. Like even in the game right now, you can go. The game doesn't tell you this when you create your character, but if you specialize into psionics, for example, which I didn't do, thank God. It says unavailable in the current version. So even if you were to specialize in psionics, all these skills here you can't use right now because they're not yet in game, because it's very early access. It's the same for heavy weapons. They're just not in game right now. So even if you were to like specialize in that, and there's a bunch of other stuff too that's not in game. So like the contraptions are not in game. I think leadership, most of these are not in game. Yeah. Yeah, leadership is not in game at all. So it's definitely like, it's definitely gonna get better, obviously, because it has a solid base to start with, but it needs some work. The game is supposed to be in early access for about 9 months. That's what they said on Steam, and between now and then, they're supposed to release like 3 major patches, and then the full game. So, and right now you only have access to parts of Act 1. So there's that. So I think like they basically, from what I've read online from the reviews from other people that played a lot longer than I did, they said that there is a solid amount of content right now if you stay like in the base and do all the side quests and stuff in the base, but as soon as you try to get out of that, like it kind of fizzles out a little bit. Like you'll have like big empty spaces with nothing to do, and then sometimes they'll have like an NPC that you can talk to and stuff. Like it's still very much a work in progress. So so there's like they said that like there's basically 10 hours of, like there's probably like a 7 hours of solid content, and then like you can stretch that to maybe 10, but after that it kind of starts to kind of fall apart because the content is just not in the game yet. So for like 30, like the price right now on Steam is like $33 Canadian. So for $33 Canadian, you get like 7 hours of solid gameplay. Not great for the price point, but over like I can already tell that this is the kind of game I would have probably picked up anyway when at full release, because it seems to be like super in depth. Lots of stuff to do. You can talk with like every NPC. Most of them have like dialogues and stuff that are like branching out with trees and things. There's so many quests so far. I've only done floor 1, 2, and 6 so far of the first base, the starter base, and I've been playing for almost 4 hours. Oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, I never played it. It's not great. You know what, Exile? One game I would totally 100% recommend you check out. I'm not sure if you were there when I mentioned it before, but check out Disco Elysium. I want to play that game so bad. So bad. Like, really, really bad. But the thing is, it's probably going to be too expensive because it's not out yet. Oh, you watched Cole play today? Oh, dude, it looks so funny. I saw him play too. Yeah. I posted on Twitter. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. I love the art style. I love the humor. And it's a kind of game it's a game like this, but doesn't have a fighting system. As far as I know. Like, it's mostly just like dialogues and I know, dude, right? I don't know how you're gonna find the time. Your PC is dying? What? How come? A heavily armored Blackwing soldier is watching over the warehouse's security doors. Face above the chin is obscured behind the smoky gray of a hardened glass visor. According to the metal plate on his chest, the soldier's name is Gunter Haas. Ask where you can get armor like this. It's unavailable outside Blackwing. Ask why a soldier in combat gear is needed to guard a warehouse. That information is privileged Blackwing employees only. If only I was Blackwing. Kepler greets you with a firm handshake. Oh, it's a guy. I want to see Holiday. He's already joking around, the little bastard. Things aren't as bad as they seemed. Well, F yeah, dude. I saved that soldier's life before. Oh, what a waste that was. Yeah, D3. Oh, God. I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be a D4 announced. I'm a lot disgusted by Blizzard. A lot. So, I don't even know if I'm going to buy anything else from Blizzard in the future. I'm actually hyped to play Death Stranding, actually. But Cyberpunk, obviously. Very obviously. But Death Stranding also. And Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, dude, it's fucking great. So I work today, because they're redoing the decorations inside the office, right? So I work today. They were installing the new decals on the windows. So like most of the rooms, like the meeting rooms and the break rooms, they have like these like giant like window panes. Like the basically it's like a giant bay window, and then there's a door, right? So you can see it very well like inside the room. It's super well lit and everything. And on these windows there are usually decals of like characters and stuff. And it's been mostly like older games, like very, very old, like we're talking like Thief kind of stuff, right? So, so it's been kind of eh. And they've been wanting to redecorate for a while now. And they actually got like some stuff, like some permissions to use some characters from Japan. So like one of the break rooms now today has a 2B decals on it. It looks amazing. 2B from dude, I'm so tired. I have a blank. Near Automata. Automata. Yeah, there we go. Near Automata. So obviously we couldn't have like a thing like, you know, Geralt from Witcher, because it's not, you know. I wonder if we're gonna have like Final Fantasy VII stuff. I'm curious. I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't think we would get 2B, to be honest. Like, I honestly didn't think we would get that. So, because like typically, like the way it used to be before, it was like it was characters and stuff of games that were actually worked at in the office, which kind of limits the scope. But now it seems that they're willing to open it up to like any character from Square Enix, which is pretty freaking great. I have not played through that. I do own the game on PC, but I've heard that it's very, very shitty, the PC version of it, compared to like the PlayStation version. So I was kind of waiting to buy the definitive edition or whatever that was released afterwards on PS4. About to drop a spoiler? Yeah, don't drop a spoiler, dude. I've been good so far to not be spoiled. I was super lucky to not be spoiled so far. So yeah. The smell of a good tobacco wafts off this tall, plump woman from a meter away. On the counter in front of her is a black lacquered pipe, an open ledger with numerous signatures in a metal flip calendar. Nearby, a nameplate reads Margarita Tkachenko. The woman smooths her copper red hair, casually lights her pipe. What can I do for you? Her voice is gravelly and thick as tar. Ask for a personal weapon. Having heard your request, Margarita thumbs her notebook a couple of pages back. I see. The first time receiving. Continue. She moves silently over the shelves. Tkachenko returns after a couple of minutes holding a small pistol. She puts it on the counter and strokes the light grip with a strange delicacy. This is a standard issue for blue and silvers. I don't know why they called it Raven. It wasn't me, so they did. The black loudly draws the slide, pops the magazine with an almost imperceptible movement and slams it back in place. A reliable one. Its weight is significant, so even if it doesn't shoot, you can always crack them on the head with it. Tkachenko pushes the pistol across the counter to you. You can take the weapon and aim it at her. Oh my god. I'm not gonna do that though. Say you're no good with live weapons and you need something else. The black who had just put the weapon on the counter covers it and probably with large soft hands. No, it is then. No, it is then. What do you like instead? Melee weapon. Tkachenko gives you an interested look, puffing her pipe. As we say, the master is a ruler. Though actually it's rare that someone would change a gun for something more simple. But why? It's up to you. This appears in the back of the armory. The black returns in a couple of minutes, puts a large baton with an electricity shock on its end. She presses the button on the device and the blue arc flickers between the contact element. Like it? Use it carefully and don't forget to charge it. This shit runs out of energy very quickly. Ask about this weapon's drawback. Tkachenko pulls a pipe from her mouth and releases a stream of smoke. Yes, this thing has one drawback. It doesn't shoot. Servicing the weapon. The black points to the head of the baton where a blue electrical charge flickers menacingly. Keep the electrodes clean. That's all I have to say. There's one thing. The battery is somewhat dopey, but there aren't any disposables, so an AC outlet is your best friend. Don't abuse the damn thing. It's at a club. Leaning out the armory window, the black points somewhere off to the side. Now it's time for your briefing. Look at the big gate. Botherby is already waiting for you. Just so you know, he's a little crazy, but a good man nonetheless. Interesting. That's cool, because... So now I have a shock baton, right? But I also have, like, this wooden bat that I can put, like, spikes on. Huh. Interesting. Two things. This was the first game that I stopped Heaven and Earth to play. I played the demo that came with Brave Fencer Musashi. Oh, really? It was the first game that gave me a visceral reaction to the plot point. Really? Did you get all this? Because there's so many endings to that game. I think there's like 30-something endings. Did you get all of them? Dude, I wonder how many endings there's to that game, really. But I heard it's like a lot. Speaking of a lot, I'm gonna call it a night for now. So yeah, that was fun actually. That's a very fun game. And yeah, we'll play some more. Actually, I'm wondering if we'll play some more like soon or if we'll wait. We might actually wait for like the first update so we can try maybe a character that's like a different thing. I want to see like the start of the game, like how it looks differently from another point of view. Maybe like a black or like maybe an orange. But also, I'm curious to see if you can get like into psionic stuff or like maybe a different character altogether and see how that goes next time that there's an update. And see what happens. Maybe we'll even jump back and just complete this playthrough, at least the part we can. But that was super fun. That was a good first look at that game for sure. Super interesting. Really dig it. But yeah, next time we'll actually, you know what, Exile. Actually, I'm probably gonna drop these points. I'm probably gonna use the Twitch one. Because Twitch has a system now, like a currency system. I think like I'm not sure if Ko uses it, but like I've seen a lot of other streamers use it. I'm waiting to use it because they said that they might actually reset everybody to 0 points on October 15th. So I'm guarding now. But I mean, it's still gonna be there. I just won't do anything with it. It's not gonna go away. Like it's still gonna go up and stuff. So you can see like what rank you get eventually if you want to. But it becomes a guarantee 100% day one purchase for me if it has backward compatibility with PS1, 2, and 3. I know it has for 4, but I really want it for 1, 2, and 3. If it has it for 1, 2, and 3, then like it's a no-brainer. Like 100%, I'm spending the money. If it's only PS4, then it becomes like an 80% chance or a 70% chance, depending on like essentially what game comes out at the same time on PS5, and if it's worth the buy right off the bat or just to wait. But yeah, dude, we actually looked at the spec at work, just from the announcement itself, and just like the way the controller works and stuff, and like all the things they're doing with it. Like, it seems pretty cool. It's gonna be a nightmare for us to work with, but it looks pretty cool. What do you mean you won't be able to buy it? Not have a baby? Well, I mean, you have a year. Like if you put like $20 every month, that wouldn't be enough. Wait. No, that wouldn't be enough. Oh, in that sense, you won't have time. Oh. Yeah, that sucks. That's too bad. That is too bad. But I also want a baby, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, like maybe with a little luck, I'll be able to get it. But yeah, Exile, thanks for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. Have a great night, and kiss your wife and kiss your kids, your kid. Sorry, singular, and dude, like, just have a fantastic night, and I'll talk to you soon. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be playing Dragon Star Run here tomorrow, like I said, 6:30 p.m. ET. And yeah, that's basically it. Love your face. Have a good night. Bye-bye.